Ooh. Welcome back again this week. We've got some more fish to cook for you. This is going to be super fun. Back on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll give you a couple minutes. Just kind of showing off what I got here for the day. And today we are going to be frying off some really beautiful cod. So if you've ever wanted to know how to fry fish better, that's kind of what we're throwing down today. So tune in, hit the share buttons, let your friends know that we are live, because we are going to, we're going to fry off some fish. If you saw the newsletter this morning, you'll see that we are getting in some really beautiful scry cod this week, which is a really beautiful Norwegian cod, absolutely gorgeous. That'll be on feature starting Thursday for $19.99 a pound. So we figured, what better kind of time to show you how to fry fish than this week. So I have my oil here all heating and basically ready to go. So what you're looking to do is get your oil, we're using a vegetable oil today. We're going to bring this up to about 350 degrees. And I've got my beautiful fish, which I showed you already. I've got these cut into smaller pieces just for the sake of time. And I'm using actually a tempura batter today, which is a little bit thinner. So you're going to adjust your cooking times and the sizes of your fillet kind of based on what it is you're going to be doing. So again, I've got some really beautiful cod that I've got cut into pieces. I've got this little box of tempura batter that we sell in the store just because it was easy to use. You could certainly do a more traditional beer batter with flour, beer. This is just cold water and the mix. Again, super easy. And yeah, so I've got my cod here, again, cut into smaller pieces. And I've got this little pick that I'm going to use. And I'm going to use this, actually, to help me coat my fish. So I'm going to take the fish. I've got my quart container. And I'm just going to dip this in here to coat. I'm going to let a little bit of that excess drip off. And then what I'm going to do is just gently set it in the fryer and kind of away from me. I'm going to slide that pick out. Now that fish is already going to start to cook. You can see it's kind of simmering there. So I'm going to repeat this with a few other pieces. And I want to cook this until it's nice and golden brown. I'll show you some other little tricks here that you can do. I want to make sure it's not sticking to the bottom. And again, repeat. So dunk and drain. This is just absolutely gorgeous fish. Now when frying, just like doing anything else, you don't want to overcrowd the pan or the pot that you're frying in. Because when you add the fish, it's going to drop the temperature of that frying oil. And if it drops too much, then the fish could wind up getting soggy and it's not going to get as nice and crisp as you want. So again, I'm just going to kind of give this a little toss here. And we're going to cook this until nice and golden brown. Looks like we're doing good here so far. Got plenty of space still. Now, one of the big things about frying at home that you want to do is you can use a fryer. If you've got a little fryer, that's great. One of the little countertop fryers is nice. Helps keep the temperature good and steady. But you can really use any kind of pot that you have on hand. Obviously if you use a really large pot, it's going to require a lot more oil. If you use a smaller pot, then you're not going to have as much space for frying. So there are kind of some trade-offs to take into consideration. And we're just going to kind of toss the fish here a little bit. Looks like we're doing pretty well. I'm just going to let this go until it's golden brown. But when using a pot for oil, you never want to fill your pot more than half full. Always under half, because that's going to reduce your chance of the oil boiling over. You don't want us to be starting any grease fires or anything like that in your kitchen. So safety first when doing fried food. Again, we got a pretty good temperature here going on. Fish is frying, it's starting to turn nice and golden brown, some of these. Absolutely beautiful. But frying is very, very easy. It's a great way to utilize fish. Obviously, fried fish is one of everybody's favorite across the board. And it doesn't have to be as hard as some people make it out to sound. Again, just following a few simple little steps, using the right oil. Again, something high heat. You're not going to want to use olive oil here. Olive oil will basically turn kind of acrid on you when it gets this hot. It is not designed for frying. It's designed for sauteing or for using as dressings. Lower heat applications when using olive oil. If you're going to be frying, you need to use a high heat oil. Something like a vegetable oil, canola oil, peanut oil, something like that, that it's going to get hot enough. So again, making sure you're using the right oil is absolutely a great place to start. But you can really do this with any fish. Obviously, the thicker the fillet, the longer it's going to take. If you've got really big pieces, you may want to cut them down into smaller chunks, just for sake of ease and for cook time. It's like, say if you need the oil. Yeah, oil, again, you're looking for the oil to be about 350. You kind of touched on that a little bit, but 350 degrees is a pretty good standard frying temperature for most things. Now again, if you're doing a really big fillet that's really thick and it's going to take a little bit longer to cook through, then maybe you're going to want to use a little bit of a lower temperature, maybe 325, even 300, just so that the batter doesn't overcook before the fish has a chance to cook through. So again, that's going to vary a little bit. But again, if you go with fairly, I mean, these are pretty good size pieces. This would make a really nice little fish and chips basket. 350 is generally a really good way to go. So the one thing that you can do, little trick, if you want your fish to be really nice and crispy, one thing that is kind of fun is to take the fish when it's kind of about halfway and take a little bit of extra batter and just sort of drizzle a little bit on the top. And you're going to create a little bit of an extra coating that's going to help develop texture. And it'll be very, very, very nice. So that's one little thing that you can do. I'll do it to a few of these pieces here. Again, you don't want a lot. We're not looking to re-dredge the fish, just a little bit of a drizzle. Go right in there with that. And again, that creates a nice texture, which is going to help the fish be kind of extra crispy, which is good. But we don't want too much batter because, again, we're working with really beautiful fish, and we want that fish to really shine. So we want just enough to coat and be crispy and to protect the fish, because that's really what the batter is doing. It's helping the fish, protecting it from being too greasy, keeps the oil off of the fish directly, and lets that fish cook kind of with a little bit more of an indirect heat. So, yeah. This is just a little trick. This is not required, but I like to do this. If you've looked at our website, we have a really good recipe for a beer battered cod. You would do exactly the same way. Again, I'm using a little bit of a tempura batter today, just because that's what we had on hand at the store. And my fish is cooking up very nicely here, getting nice and golden brown. I'll kind of show you what that does when you drizzle that batter over the little bit of extra batter over the fish. As soon as these kind of finish up here. So again, we've got this beautiful wild scray cod coming in from Norway this week. Normally our features start running on Tuesday, but this is kind of a special order thing that we've got, so it won't arrive until Thursday. So that's when our feature will start, on Thursday through Monday this week. Again, you'll see if you get the newsletter, which if you don't, definitely subscribe to that. That's where all of our stuff goes, recipe videos, recipes, all kinds of things in that newsletter. You can go to coastalseafoods.com. There's a subscribe to newsletter button right on the front page, so definitely do that. But we've got the dates up there, and you'll see again it starts Thursday instead of Tuesday. So a little bit different this week, which is fine. Again, this is a really beautiful fish. The Norwegian cod is always very, very popular. And this stuff in particular is very, very good quality, so we're really looking forward to that. It'll be really, really awesome. And there's a lot of different things you can do with it. You obviously don't have to deep fry it. In fact, you should try doing other things with it if you can, but you know, we're kind of in a pretty prime season for fish and chips, so You're never going to go wrong there. Absolutely never. Fish and chips, one of my absolute all-time favorite things. This fish is looking really good. Yeah, so definitely all this weekend we're going to have that. The other thing I want to talk about is this weekend we're going to be doing a really cool live in-store demo for tuna cutting. So if you've ever been curious as to how we work with our fish, this is a really good opportunity to kind of come in and be able to see that. We are going to have one of our expert fish cutters actually butcher a whole tuna. So we've had a lot of people making jokes, we shouldn't be cutting live tuna. The tuna is not live, people. The demonstration is live. So definitely that's something you're going to want to check out. That'll be 1 to 3 on Saturday at our Minneapolis location. So you want to come in and you'll be able to check that out. And what's really cool is once the cutting is done, you'll actually be able to buy that fish. So right off the fish, super fresh tuna, absolutely gorgeous. Again, if you are a tuna person, this is exactly the kind of thing that you should come out and see. It'll be really, really neat. Again, we're really, really looking forward to that. It's very unique. We've not done anything like this before, so it should be pretty awesome, I think. Again, whole tuna cutting. Where else are you going to see something like that? It's going to be really cool. So come down, Minneapolis location. We do have an event page up on our Facebook page, so if you want to check that out, get more details, or hit that you're going to go. As a reminder, you'll get the notification when it's coming up, which is always good to do, because I know it's easy to kind of forget that kind of stuff when you're out running around and doing different things. But yeah, check out the event page. It's going to be really, really neat. Again, it's just something that we've kind of wanted to do for a while, and now seemed like a good time to do it. We're coming up into the sort of Valentine's time of year, where tuna is really popular. So kind of seemed like let's show off and let's let people see what we do with this fish. So very cool. Again, check the event page on Facebook. Tell your friends. It will be kind of limited, in terms of space. It is open to the public. It is free, so you can come check it out. We don't know how many people will show up to see it, but hopefully it should go smoothly and nice and be a lot of fun. Again, really, really looking forward to that. Some other things that we've had going on. We'll be doing some cool Valentine's Day stuff coming up. All of our kind of Valentine's Day classes most are basically filled. I think there might be some sushi spots available for the 17th. So if you wanted to get like a nice Valentine's Day gift for the week after, you can certainly do that. We have a lot of couples come in and take our classes. That's just a thing to do together. And it's super fun. We always have a really good time. Sushi is always popular. And you eat a lot of sushi. And we don't skimp on the fish when it comes to our sushi. So if you want to have a sushi experience unlike anywhere else in the cities, definitely come in, check that out, and it'll be super fun. Those events, they're all posted on our, we've got them on our Facebook page, we've got them on our website, so coastalseafoods.com, or you can go straight through Eventbrite, look up Coastal Seafoods, they'll all be there. So definitely worth checking out. We'll also have some other stuff coming up for Valentine's Day, of course. We'll be doing some special features and things. So that's something you're going to want to stay tuned for. That'll be very, very cool. We've got some very unique things on order that I don't want to talk about just yet, because we've got to keep it secret, play it close to the chest. But when it comes out, we will be adding that to our newsletter, all that sort of stuff, and some unique things that we've not really done before. Particularly in regard to some of our delivery stuff, which if you haven't seen yet, we are offering local deliveries now, which you can do right through our website. When you go, there's an online order button. It says online order and delivery. You can click that and you can either set up your order to pick up in the store, so you can order it, prepay ahead of time, and then come and just pick it up. Or if you live within 16 miles of either store, you can have it delivered to you. So really cool. We've had a lot of people utilizing that, which is really great. We're really happy with that service so far. Got a lot of good reviews on it, and that's for both Minneapolis and St. Paul. You can pick which store is closest to you in terms of delivery, and you can have all your fresh fish delivered right to you. We've got all kinds of stuff up there. If you want to do party platters, you can order those online and have those delivered. So for those of you who do like office parties and things like that, that's definitely an option there. We've had a lot of people actually use it for that, which has been really cool. Yeah, so these are just about finished here. Again, I'm using a little bit of a tempura batter, so it's not going to get as golden brown as, say, like a beer batter would. But these are looking pretty great. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's nice and crisp. Really beautiful. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Super looking forward to this. And I think I can go ahead and start pulling these. So I've got here a plate lined with paper towels so that I can drain them off. Now, a little bit more ideally would be to do this on like a draining rack or something to let that oil kind of drip away. When you do them on a straight paper towel like this, you know, the oil can it soaks into the towel, but it can sort of result in the fish getting a little bit soggy if you leave it there too long. So again, you want to just do it long enough for that oil to drain away from the fish. Otherwise, again, put it on a drying rack. Drying racks are really nice, super handy for many things. And there we go. So just like anything, as soon as it comes out of the oil, this is where you want to season. So I've got my salt, and I'm just going to season this. And when it's hot, that's going to help that salt adhere. So again, you want to season it pretty well. And beautiful. We have ourselves some very lovely deep fried fish. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous cod. Super beautiful. This is basically a tempura fried cod. So very easy to do, super simple. This is really beautiful cod. And then again on Thursday we'll be getting the Norwegian Skray cod, which will sell for $19.99 a pound. But you do that, and then you serve it obviously with our house-made tartar sauce. There we go. The glare is kind of hiding it. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. Fried fish, tartar sauce, perfect. And this will be a great weekend to do it. Plus, you can come down and check out the live tuna cutting, which will be a ton of fun. Again, that's something unique that we are really looking forward to. So definitely come in, check that out. We look forward to seeing you. If you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, again, do that. coastalseafoods.com. Just hit the join subscribe to newsletter button. Otherwise, thank you so much again for tuning in. This was a lot of fun. Hopefully you fry up some fish this weekend. And if you do, send us some photos. We always love seeing the stuff that you make. We get some great shares on Instagram and Facebook. So definitely do that. Tag us. We want to know, we want to see, we want to share. So please do that. Otherwise, again, tune in next week. We'll cook up some more fun stuff for you. And yeah, talk to you all soon. Thanks again for tuning in.